Today, something happened that really stopped me in my tracks. It wasn't another hospital appointment. It wasn't another blood test. It wasn't another conversation with a doctor. In fact, it was a conversation with my wife. I could see that she was a little down, so I asked her what was wrong. She replied in the usual manner, saying, "I'm fine." But then, as if hesitant, she looked at me and she said, "Do you know how many people have asked me if I'm okay since all this started?" And I thought about it for a minute. And then I realized that I didn't know. She quietly answered her own question, "Hardly anybody." That hit me really hard. Makes you think. Because the truth is, she's right. When someone is diagnosed with cancer, every bit of attention quietly, naturally goes to the patient. Simple. Okay? Somebody's sick, you ask how they're feeling. People keep asking me how I'm feeling. They ask about my blood results. They ask about my chemo. They ask about the transplant dates. They ask about what the doctors are saying. And I really appreciate every single person who's reached out to me. And I've never wanted that to change. But until today, I hadn't really stopped to think. What is it actually like for the person or the partner, your sidekick, the one who bears the whole brunt of this? How does it feel for them? You know, my wife's been living this ordeal every single day with me. She drives me to the appointments. She wades through the consultations. She listens to every conversation we've had, what the doctors say, the good stuff, the bad stuff. She hears every setback. She celebrates every single victory. And she also takes the knocks with me every single time. And then she comes home. And somehow, she's expected to carry on as if life is normal. You know, I get to talk about how I'm feeling. But who actually asks how she's feeling? She's carrying fears that she doesn't always say out loud. She's trying to stay positive for me, even on the days when she's terrified herself. And I imagine that isn't unique to us. I think this happens to thousands of families in the world. It's actually, if you think about it, it's mind-boggling. The partner becomes the quiet constant, the steady hand, the strong one, the one who everyone assumes is coping. It's natural. You know why? Because they have to. But strength doesn't mean someone isn't hurting. Strength doesn't mean that they don't need someone to lean on. Cancer might have one patient, but it affects an entire family. Sometimes I think that partners are fighting a battle that's almost invisible. They don't get chemotherapy. They don't get blood tests. They don't have scars from procedures. Instead, they carry something different. They carry that emotional weight of watching someone they love go through something they can't fix. And honestly, I don't know which burden is heavier. So today, I wanted to ask you something. If you know someone who's going through a disease or cancer, who is sick, any serious illness, by all means, ask that patient, not the patient, sorry, ask that person, how are they feeling? Turn to the husband, turn to their wife, turn to the partner, their parents, their children. Ask them this simple question: how are you doing? How are you coping? And once you've done that, really listen to the answer they give you. Because you might be the first person who's actually asked them in weeks or even months how they're feeling, how are they coping. Today reminded me that cancer doesn't just test the person who's diagnosed. It tests everyone who loves that person. And if there's one thing this journey has taught me, is that kindness isn't just about helping the person who's sick. Sometimes the greatest act of kindness is noticing the person who's been quietly carrying them all along. And I take my hat off to my wife. She's been my pillar, she's been my rock. So, to every wife out there, to every husband, to every partner, every family member, even friend who stood by the person, that someone they love, I say thank you. Because I know what I'm going through. I know what I feel when people want to know about how I'm feeling, how I'm coping. Now, I realize that my wife needs the same. You may not wear the hospital bracelet, okay? You may not be the one receiving the treatment, but you're the one fighting this battle too. So you deserve to be seen. This goes out to all the wives, all the husbands, all the close family who have to support their loved ones. This goes out to you. I take my hat off to you. You guys are heroes in my book. And just like that, we've reached the end. By following and sharing my posts, you're helping me create more awareness on the subject. And if you can spare a few bucks to assist in my own journey, I'll be just as humbled. Every bit truly helps. Don't forget to check out my socials. The links are somewhere down there somewhere. Go look. God bless you all. Miguel, peace out.